Okay, what's going on, everybody? This is ALWT News coming in. It's just me today. The rest of my team had prior engagement, but I didn't want to leave y'all hanging and leave y'all by yourselves with nothing else to do. So we're gonna get some stories out. Might not be as long as they normally is, or we won't have to chit chat because our other two are missing. But we got some pretty couple interesting stories popping up here, and figured I'd hit on them while they're up. And without further ado, let's get started. Hey, give me a. Oh yeah, forgot. All right, we're gonna start with our first news topic of today, which is "In My Wildest Dreams, I See That Place." This is by Jenny Zarek Zing of GameSpot. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name there, but the story is Silent Hill rumors continue to swirl. Following last week's leaked Silent Hill art, journalist Jeff Grubb and leaker Nate the Hate 2 took to Twitter to comment on the two pieces of information they've heard from sources. The first is that Konami is likely working on multiple Silent Hill games, including the main line title and side stories. The second alleged confirms Blooper Team's involvement in a Silent Hill title, Silent involvement in a Silent Hill 2 title, Silent Hill 2 remake. The remake will receive reworked puzzles, new endings, and could possibly be a timed PlayStation exclusive. Now, this one was especially for me. Like I as anybody knows that keeps track of this show, I am a huge Silent Hill fan. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of the best games ever. No, it isn't. Probably it is, and I don't care what people say. I have. I'm not arguing with nobody. It is one of the greatest titles ever to be made. I absolutely love the game, and I'm glad to see it's a remake plus two to be made by who is that? Team Blooper. I mean, it for me is a huge achievement. I've got some of the titles in the background, and to be honest, I'm glad to see them doing it. I hope this is real though. Like I'm really hoping that this is a real thing and not just another one of those, fake leaks. But the way it's sounding, I mean, we've been hearing about this more and more throughout the year. And we heard about it a lot last year, and the Konami has been on the thing because later on it does mention that they have made a lot of money off mainly the Yu-Gi-Oh titles. Excuse me, mainly Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, but they could take that money and put it towards the new Silent Hill game, which, to be honest, I can't speak highly enough of. I mean, it was such a huge thing. I'm reading some more of this. They even pulled out of the 2021 E3 because of the because they wasn't ready at the time, and they had a project that which they was working on and had in development, but it never really said what that project was. So I'm hoping that is the new Silent Hill game, and I did put it for my list, so yeah, that'd be more points for me too if I win here, and I can see it coming true. Um, Enough about that. I've spoke about that though to no end. We're gonna go over to the second story here, which is sorry. Let me get back to it. Second story, which is E3 2022 dot dot dot. Okay, so this is gonna be a weird one. After an all digital last year, E3 2022 has been officially canceled, but that but that doesn't actually mean all that much when it comes to major game publishers holding press conferences for viewers at home. things may not even look all that different, with lots of digital game announcements, events happening in mid-June, building hype and excitement for the rest of the years and beyond. So far, we know about big events like Xbox and Bethesda shows, as well as the Summer Games Fest show, with all of its different events happening independently of E3. However, it could be a little tough to keep track of them all. So we've organized every announced not E3 event to happen, not E3 event into a handy schedule here. As more events announced, we'll continue to update this post. Currently, they already had one, which I have not checked out yet, which was the 505's game show, which was today at 6 a.m. Pacific time. May 24th and 22nd. May 21st and 22nd is the Indie Live Expo 2022, which that is Pacific time. We need to get this over to Eastern time. So I want to translate that on over. Which in our time would be 9 a.m. The Netflix Geek Week is June 6th through 10th. Summer Games Live, which is 3 hour difference? Okay. Which is June 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. That would be about 2 p.m. Eastern time. Day of the Devs, June 9th, immediately after the Summer Games Fest Live. Guerrilla Collection, which is June 11th, 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern time. The Wholesale Direct, Wholesome Direct, June 11th, immediately after the Guerrilla Collective. Tribeca Game Spotlight, which is June 10th, 12 p.m., which is 3 p.m. Eastern time. That is 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry. And we finally got the Xbox and Bethesda Game Show, which is June 12th, 10 a.m., which will be 1 p.m. Eastern time. This one is just more of an announcement about the upcoming events. Even though E3 is not happening, it's still a lot of events that's going to be happening. So we're getting, I wouldn't say we're getting E3, but we're getting, I guess, a version of E3. It's like a substitute E3. My only thing is this probably might be the future going forward with E3 falling apart. They'll probably still, ironically, even though they won't have an E3, they'll probably ironically keep it around the E3 time zone because most people are familiar with that, which would be better to do other than trying to switch and do it like at some weird time or date or something. I'm still very happy. I mean, I'm excited. I'm gonna check out this 505 probably after this is over. Some of these, I love indie games, so I've got when is the Indie Game Expo? 21st, 22nd. That is a Saturday and Sunday, and I ain't gotta work. I might be checking that out. I mean, I love indie games. I'm not really into Netflix Geek Week. I don't know. I don't really know about that one. The Summer Games Live Fest, I'm interested in that one, definitely. And also the Tribeca, I've heard of that company, but I can't remember what they're known for. So let me look. The Tribeca Games, I have no idea what they're known for. Would you stop doing that? But that name sounds so familiar. Tribeca Games. Is wow. What games are you known for? Oh no, Cuphead. Looks like Cuphead is one of the big ones. Oh, Plague's Tale. So this might be interesting. So that might be interesting to see. But the big one for me is still the Bethesda Xbox showcase, which I'm very excited to check out and see how that's going to be and see how it looks. And I'm hoping we get some pretty banger titles out of this. Because to be honest, Xbox actually needs to show something. You're going to find out here why in a little bit. Because PlayStation's been on the move for a little bit. And Xbox, after they pretty much acquired, who was that, Activision Blizzard, they haven't really said or did nothing. I know they got things, cooking, but I still want to see what you got in the oven here. I mean, I know you're getting Call of Duties, but as for me, I'm not I would say a huge shooter fan. I'm an MMORPG. I love indie games, MMORPG stuff like that. So them acquiring Call of Duty, really, it's not a huge one for me. The only one that got my attention is probably going to be WoW, and I think my friends Malachi said I'm hoping that they do the same thing the way they put it on the. I want to say on the PlayStation. I mean the Xbox Game Pass, so they can check it out. People can look and play the game and see whether or not they like it. But I mean, it's still a good thing, and it's still good to get that good development going on here. But some of them I am interested in. Yeah, some of these other ones I'm kind of interested. Maybe in the Day of the Devs. Sometimes they get some pretty crazy things to show up. And Summer Game Fest. What is June 9th? Oh, I definitely got to work that day. Dang it. I'll check it out after work. Not a problem. But yeah, if you can just mark these days down on your calendar if you find any of them interesting. Oh yeah, this one was done by Gabe Gerwin of GameSpot, by the way. So give them a like, check that out, and see if you like any of those. And just highlight those dates for you. Next is PlayStation Plus Plus. All right, so what's my mouse stops freaking out? Okay, Darren Bonthus. I'm sorry if you ever hear this, Darren. I'm sorry. I tried. I did the best I could. Of GameSpot. Yeah, of GameSpot. Actually wrote this. Actually is where I got it from. So let's read on. Let's see what this has. As part of the refreshed PlayStation Plus launching next month in the US, Ubisoft Plus Classic is being bundled into PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium tiers. PlayStation Plus Classic will launch with 27 curated games on June 13th in the United States, and the lineup is expected to grow around 50 games by the end of the year. The initial list includes Assassin's Creed Valhalla, For Honor, and a few trial games. In case you have few controllers lying around that you don't mind breaking. PlayStation Plus, Ubisoft Plus, the standard version of the service that offers day one releases classic. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing my place here. Ubisoft Plus, the more standard version of the service that offers day one releases classic games and premium titles, will be added to PlayStation at a later date. The service will also be coming to Xbox in the future, and more of its games will be made available through Game Pass as part of the deal between the companies. This is basically a win-win for both companies. I didn't kind of read the bottom part, but for PlayStation, this is a huge win. This gives them more in the library of games. I know PlayStation have been gearing up to hit Xbox, so this is going to be a huge boom to launch with this. And since it's going to be launching on PlayStation first, they do have exclusivity for a little bit, and it makes the other two tiers much more, I would say, palatable, and makes it a lot better to, check out and see whether or not you like it or whether or not you want to get in on this. We have a list. I mean, I have a list. I keep forgetting. It's just me and chat. I'm sorry. It's so weird, kind of, but when you're so used to having people, a bunch of people in there, and it's just you this time around. Sorry, there we go. We have a list of some of the games. I have to get the list up real quick. Some of the games that's going to be launching is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, For Honor, The Crew 2, Child of Light. I always wanted to try that game. Eagle Flight, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I need to finish that game. That game is pretty funny. Far Cry 3 Remastered, Far Cry 4, Legendary Fishing. I might just get it just to play some fishing. Legendary Fishing. Risk, Urban Assault, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, South Park, The Stick of Truth, Space Junkies, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Starlink, Battle for Atlantis, Steep, The Crew, The Division, Trackmania Turbo. I have no idea what that is. Transference. That sounds interesting. I still don't know what that is. Trials Fusion. I know that's that. If I'm thinking right, that's that. Like that motocross game. You have to go across those trials. Crazy trials. Trials of the Blood Dragon game. Trials Rising. Valiant Hearts. The Great War. Watch Dogs. Werewolves Within. And Zombies with an I at the end. This, to me, like I said earlier, this is a pretty good plus for them. I am glad that PlayStation is still making moves. I mean, some ways I'm glad too Xbox made moves, because the worst thing that could ever happen to a company is stagnation. When you don't have a company that's really competing against you, like, you can't really say, for example, Nintendo's competing against them. Nintendo, we've said a billion times, is the kid that plays in the corner by himself. He just does his own thing. PlayStation needs competition in order to stay relevant and stay up to the date. So does Xbox. And I'm glad that they're both making moves and they're both doing things and they're both acting like they care, so that people won't, in other words, just keep making the same thing over and over again or start overcharging because they're the only kid on the block. So this is all a plus plus, and even though it's coming to Xbox, it'll be coming to them later on in the future, which is still good for Xbox fans. And I kind of like how Ubisoft did it, because they didn't force themselves to be on either or. They just made it more and more available for both people, and they'll probably 10-1 get a cut of the revenue, which is good for them too. And seeing as which, probably most gamers will probably either levitate to one or the other. If you're an Xbox fan, you're going to go over to Game Pass, so you'll be able to still play the Ubisoft game once they launch. And for PlayStation, day one, PlayStation Plus, the upper two tiers though. So it's not going to be on it's going to be the upper two. So it won't be I don't think the normal one. I don't think it's going to be the I don't think it's gonna be. I can't remember all the tiers, because oh my god. Okay, so I think it's 3 tiers, but I can't remember which tiers with which. Okay, so yeah, it's not the essential. So I'm sorry if you're gonna stay at essential. you won't be able to play. It's going to be only the extra and the premiums where this is going to be heading on to. So if you want to get this, just go up to one of those two, maybe give it a month's try and see if you like it or not. If you don't like it, you should be able to drop back down. But we're going to be moving on. But before we move on, we're going to take a look real quick. So we were just talking about new games coming to PlayStation. We're going to check out our official gaming league. So for those people that don't know what's going on, we have a gaming league going on. Which us in the ALWT crew, me and the ALWT crew, I gotta stop saying us. I am so sorry. I am so used to saying us on everything. Me and the ALW, all of the ALWT crew are all participating in this gaming league. So what you do is each year we pick a series of games. I want to say we pick 4 or 5 straight up. And then you can add more. You can have a total of 8 games. You can have a total of 8 games on your thing. And you can pick, after you get through with that, you can pick one game which is going to be a counter pick to your opponent. In which you think either A, probably the game's not going to launch, or B, the game's going to do bad. Once you pick a counter pick to an opponent, that opponent cannot drop that game in any circumstances. The grading system runs off a, I want to say, 70 point system, to where if you get 70 points or higher, like let's say you get 75 points, you get that many points above the 70. So if you get 75 points, you get plus 5 points. But if you pick up a game and let's say it does 60 points, like it's a rate 66 out of 10 or 60 points, you would lose 10 points. And the rating scale, I believe, is OpenCritic. It goes off OpenCritic for the rating. So it's all the critics and stuff. They rate the games and put it on a rating list. If it's above 70, you get points. Below 70, you lose points. If it is 70, you don't get nothing. Or if it doesn't launch and you do not remove it, you won't get no points. But anyways, we're going to go off the actual points between the highest and lowest person. So right now, at the top of our league is Moga by Ohio. Ohio has the following games on his list. There he is. I'm looking for Ohio. For starters, he's got Elden Ring, which scored by critics at a 95, and he got a total of 31 points, which is something I forgot to mention. If it goes, I believe, above 90, you get double points for it. You get double above it. That's the reason why he's got 31 points, because it's 5 points above 90. Next, he's got Pokemon Arceus, which got an 84, so he's got 14 points. Sifu, 80 points, he's got 10. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, which is 82, he's got 12. He's got Marvel Midnight Sun, that has not came out yet. He's got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. And he did a counter pick of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which he did good on because it is not launching. And that person cannot remove it from the game. From their list. And second place, we've got our reigning champ from last season, which is Mildewy Carrot. Mildewy Carrot, which went by the name of Carrot Patch Inc., has currently got Gran Turismo 7, which got him 17 points and scored an 87. He's got Forspoken, which has not launched yet. I believe that should be launching shortly. Or no, it got pushed back. That's right. Tunic, which is 85, which got him 15 points. Splatoon 3, which is yet to launch. Stray, which is yet to launch. Salt and Sacrifice, which has got him 7 points because it scored a 77. Advance War 1+2 Reboot, which didn't launch, and which hasn't launched yet. And Hogwarts Legacy, which hasn't launched yet. And he did a counter pick of Chocobo GP, which scored a 65, so he gained 5 points because it went below 70. And the person that schedule it, I mean, on the list that it's on, they lost 5, which we will find out here shortly once we make it down to them. In third place, we've got ALWT Gaming, led by ALWT Gaming. God, he could have been original. Which he's got Horizon Forbidden West, which got him 18 points. A Plague Tale Requiem, which has not came out yet. Ghostwire Tokyo, which got him 7 points. Gotham Knights, which is not launched yet. I don't think that's launching, actually. No. Yeah, I don't think that's launching. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's pushed back, right? No, I thought it was. I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. The King of Fighters, 15, which got him 11 points. Mario Strikers Battle League, he's got 2 open spots, and he counterpicked Bayonetta 3. And fourth place, we got yours truly, Zaka Corporation. Yep, the Zaka Corp, led by It's the 9Ball, which is my username. Which I've got Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which got me 9 points. I got Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, which I might have to put. I don't know if that's going to launch. Saints Row, which hasn't yet to launch. Total War Warhammer 3, which gave me 16 points. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which has yet to launch. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is yet to launch. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, which is yet to launch. And I picked up Scorn. I mean, I'm taking a chance here. I figured, why not? Let's go big or go home, which is yet to launch. And I did a counter pick of Marvel's Midnight Sun, which is yet to launch. So I got a grand total of 25 points. Second to last, we've got Silent, who has the group name of Winzukikin. And he's got God of War Ragnarok, which has yet to launch. Triangle Strategy, which has got 13 points. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is not launching, but he got counterpicked, so he stuck with it. Chocobo GP, which lost him 5 points. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which got him 15 points. Final Fantasy 16, which I said I was he's going for a Hail Mary on that one. Metroid Prime 4, which I've not heard nothing about. That one might be saying. I don't think those two are going to launch. He's got an open spot, and he counterpicked Diablo Immortal. And in last place, we've got LSB Live, who's got... I didn't tell you our points. I'm sorry. It's so weird doing this by yourself. Ohio has 66. Mewtwo had 43. AOWT had 35. I had 24. Silent has 23. And Illis has 9 points. LSB Live, who is Illuminatus Living. Okay, so he's got Dying Light 2 Stay Human, which has got him 6 points. Bayonetta 3, which has not launched. Strangers in Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, which got 3 points. I thought it would do better. That was kind of interesting. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which has not launched. Diablo Immortal, which has not launched. Shovel Knight Dig, which has not launched. He's got 2 picks, and he counterpicked my Saints Row. So, without further ado, that is our current standings on our gaming fantasy critic. And with that, we will be returning right back to the news. News story number 4, which I call the PlayStation Reborn. PlayStation has confirmed a list of games that will be available as part of its overhaul PlayStation Plus subscription service, which includes a selection of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles for the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium tiers. Several games from PlayStation Studios' Marvel Spider-Man's Returnal and Demon's Souls will be made available in a new gaming catalog alongside third-party titles such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Control Ultimate Edition, and Mortal Kombat 11. Classic games from the original PlayStation and PlayStation Portable will also be made available through a smaller library, which includes a mix of first and third party titles. Ape Escape, Siphon Filter, and Wild Arms 3 are just some of the games joining the list alongside Tekken 2 and several more. Sony says that the classic games will come with a new user interface, menus, and quality of life features that allow users to rewind gameplay and save their progress at any point. Excuse me. Players who have previously purchased a digital version of these classic games won't have to buy them again or sign up to PlayStation Plus to access them on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. When these titles release for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, players can head to the PlayStation Store and download a version for their console at no extra cost if they already own the digital version of the game, Sony said in a blog post. Some of these titles will also be made available for individual purchase. So we've got quite a few games here. I want to see which ones. Well, we got Bloodborne, which we're currently going through now on our Sin segment. So if you're curious about Bloodborne, check us out. Hopefully, we should be on this Thursday. About 8 to, usually get on around 8 to 10. So check us out. We are, well, just say we're up to a very, very challenging boss right now. Very challenging. He tests you, your patience. Days Gone. Okay, Death Stranding. If anybody was interested in Death Stranding, for me, it's an interesting game. It's definitely not for everybody. And since they're putting on PlayStation, if you're going to be in the upper two tiers, it might be worth a looking at to see if you are interested in it and if you want to continue to play it or not. I mean, if you don't want to play it, the worst you can do is just uninstall it. You got Demon Souls, Destruction All Stars, which is basically your Smash Bros. Style game. Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut, you got to put that on there. God of War, if you haven't played it, like I haven't, and they're going to slaughter me for that. It's worth a playthrough. Gravity Rush, I hear, is really good. So there might be something worth checking out too. Horizon Zero Dawn, that's a good one to check out too. Horizon's a very good game. Infamous second. I might want to check out the first Infamous. We got both Spider-Mans. I mean, it's quite a few games. Returnal's on there, and seeing it, which they just added multiplayer. For me, that's definitely a pickup, and you can play through it with your friends. Shadow of the Colossus, I got that. It's pretty fun. I just need to finish it. The Last of Us is almost a staple, a marquee title for PlayStation, and it's definitely worth a pickup. If for some reason you haven't played it like me, because I tell my friends all the time, I didn't really start with a PlayStation, started with an Xbox, and kind of transferred over at PlayStation 4. So it's definitely, for me, it would be worth a playthrough. Until Dawn's a really good Halloween game, and it's fun to play with friends on that one because of the simple fact you can play it, and when you have to make choices or something and ask your friends, you know, do you want to do this or this? And it's, yeah, or you can just, you know, maybe hand over the controls, like you're this character, you're that character or something. That would be quite interesting for that. Ashen. Guardians of the Galaxy. Ooh, this one just got, what was it? I'm going to say RPG Game of the Year, I want to say. It won an award at the VGAs, so that one, I really want to try that one. Dead Cells is an excellent rogues game. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. That one's, ooh, they even got the auto. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. But the Royal Edition, it's good, but I can't get into that one. So I need to finish it. Outer Wilds, that's a game I need to play. Resident Evil, The Artful Escape. I keep hearing about that one. That's a game I want to try. And The Crew 2. Oh my God. I've been trying to get my friends, and everybody thinks I lie when I talk about this game, but it's finally coming out to PlayStation. And this is the classics game log. The Intelligence Cube. And Siphon Filter. Like, Siphon Filter is... I loved Siphon Filter. The Intelligence Cube. I love that game. I haven't played it in years. I got it on the PlayStation Portable, but... I mean, not PlayStation Portable. What is this? PlayStation Mini. That's right. But I'm glad to see it coming out to there. Tekken 2 needs no introduction. Probably one of the greatest fighting games ever to come out. So if you're into fighting games and you want that nostalgia, Tekken 2's there. PlayStation Studios, classic games. World Gallery. Partners. Original PlayStation 3 games. And... okay. It's a pretty interesting one, but these are PlayStation 3. So the thing about PlayStation 3 games, when they come out on there, you won't be able to download them. You can only stream them. It has something to do with the architecture on the original one. It's just weird. But there is a couple ones that are interesting in time-limited game trials. One of which, well, there's a couple of them. Horizon Forbidden West is a time-limited trial, which is good, and an interesting one for a friend of mine that didn't want to touch it again. Cyberpunk 2077. So if you're in the upper tiers and you see Cyberpunk, you're like, I got it last time. It froze my entire system, or it didn't work so good. It's now under the PlayStation Studio, and it's now underneath a time-limited trial. So you can give it a go and see whether or not you like it or not. We also have got Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which I'm going to give a go here next month, because I'm definitely getting the highest tier. I'm trying the highest tier to see if I like it or not. And I've heard nothing but good things about Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So I'm going to give that one a go. But I think, wow, that was all the big news I got for today. But we got some little, some pretty nifty little treats. One of which is, since I'm the only person here, I had to treat myself. The Dead Space remake is coming, okay? I was going to name this one it's Necromorphing Time. But this is by Michael McWetter. I'm sorry. I'm going to just say Michael MC. But earlier they had a replay in Electronic Arts. Earlier they had like a live stream. Yeah, a live stream of it. And Electronic Arts has announced the game. And it is coming out on January 27th of 2023. They are revamping everything. This game looks amazing. If anybody that remembers the original game, I want to say it launched, I think 2008. I want to say it was 2008 they launched it. But I have been waiting for this game for so long, and I am so excited to see it coming out. We're going to read an excerpt of the story real quick. So here we go. Electronic Arts remake of the sci-fi horror game Dead Space is coming to PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X on January 27, 2023. The game's developer announced Thursday during a live stream presentation that Dead Space was originally pegged for an early 2023 release, according to EA. EA Motive, the studio behind Dead Space 3, also said expect a more substantial look at the game this October. Ooh. Ahead of Halloween. So don't count on seeing much more from the game at or around the Summer Games Fest in June, especially since EA won't hold an EA Play live event as it has in past years. Okay. So, I might have messed up. I'm not going to lie. I put Dead Space. I can't remember what I'm gonna ask them next week, but I put some Dead Space on there to see whether or not, because I thought that we might be able to. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It, I thought I had it, but overall, I'm happy to see that they are doing it. And I can't wait for, I guess, for October then to see what they're gonna do. I've seen part of it. I watched part of the live stream, and it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. It looks great, and I'm glad to see that they're giving it the love it deserves. Because Dead Space was a style of game which was cut off way too short. It was killed off way too early. It never should have went down like that. It was such a good game, and it I just can't speak. I just can't speak anymore because Dead Space 3. If you ever played the game, Dead Space 3 left you on a cliffhanger. And for them to just kill the game out like that just really hurt it. And to be honest, I'm glad to see a remake coming finally. And hopefully they continue on with the story as they are doing now with Mass Effect 4. Or 5. Depending on whose opinion it is. So, I'm glad to see that happening. I believe that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I'm about to say I believe after that, but I just ran into something. Final Fantasy 15 has officially sold 10 million copies. So, a quick congratulations for them. So it looks like they remade their losses, according to them. Wait a minute, let me read it. Final Fantasy 15 has finally hit the sales goal by its developer team over 5 years ago, crossing 10 million lifetime sales milestone. The news was revealed earlier today by an official Japanese Twitter account for Final Fantasy 15. The sales milestone means that Final Fantasy 15 is the third best-selling game in the entire Final Fantasy franchise, trailing only to Final Fantasy X with 10.5 million and Final Fantasy VII with 13 million copies sold. So a quick congratulations to them. And that's pretty much all that I got for this week. I wanted to get something out. I know it's a bit awkward, and for me it's kind of weird because most of the time I'm used to having, your two comrades here which you talk to and go back and forth about. But, I'm kind of glad we got something out. And to everybody that joined and anybody that will be watching, check us out on ALWT, which is our normal channel, ALWT Gaming, which, it's ALWT Gaming, which we're going to be having this Sin segment should be coming up this Thursday, the 19th, from 8 to 10, and we should be, like my friend says, back at it like a bad habit this Tuesday. Next Tuesday, but we're probably going to have the full gang. Everybody be here from 6 to around, 6 to who knows how. It's usually 7:30. But to anybody else watching, glad that you stopped by. I'm glad that you came by. And to all that's going to watch this, thanks for checking it out. And it's the 9 Ball here, and I'm signing out. Control Alt Complete. Peace.